Former midget car driver Peter Smith, now up into the sprint car ranks, Pete, on World Series. How's your career blossoming in sprint cars?
I don't know if blossom is quite the right word, but we're having a good time.
Former Formula 500 champion Stephen Bell, now up in the sprint car ranks. Stephen, tell me, how did your speedway career start?
As a family, we'd always race dirt bikes, and it was just sort of a natural progression, I suppose. When I was about 21, I bought a Formula 500 off Ken Veal, sprint car guy now, and we just got started there. Yeah, it was good.
Terry Bracken, current leader sprint car champion in Queensland, and now up running the number 36 Titan Garages car. And you've been finishing very well. Are you enjoying World Series?
Oh, I'm enjoying it a lot. We've had a bit of bad luck, but we got rolling in Warrnambool last night, and going on what happened there 12 months ago, I was real happy with 7th.
Well, that's right. Last year you went out first heat pretty well, first lap, I think, up and over.
It was about 3rd lap in, yeah. We got stitched up pretty bad and wrote the car off, yeah. So, no, last night was good, real good.
John Hughes, instrumental in running World Series sprint cars. We're in our 11th year. You must be very happy with the way things are running right at the moment.
We've come a long way, I think, since the beginnings about 11 years ago. This is now recognised as probably the premier competition in sprint cars in Australia. It's modelled along the lines of the fairly well-known sprint car series that run in the United States. All the best drivers follow this series, and to win one of these rounds is not an easy thing to do. We race on lots of different tracks in different circumstances, so a driver that comes here and can beat these guys on a racetrack like this, say we've got here tonight, knows he's won a race.
The Goodyear Eagle Dash set down over 6 laps for round 7 of the $500,000 World Series Sprint Cars at Mount Gambier Speedway in South Australia. This is going to be a beauty, as it always is. The top 6 drivers on points for the evening, trying to sort out how they'll start the first 3 rows of the A main. Danny Smith from Indiana in the USA alongside Skip Jackson from Hurstville in New South Wales. The Victorian Brett Lacey alongside Sydney sider Peter Murphy. Back then to Brooke Tatnell and South Aussie Trevor Green. 6 cars, 6 of the best. We're under green at Mount Gambier Speedway as Danny Smith works Jackson. Oh, trouble back in the field, but everybody just managing to emerge unscathed. Well, Trevor Green very nearly had Lacey and Tatnell then. Clash of wheels coming out of turn number 2, and usually when you see that, somebody's going roll cage down. Nice to see everybody was able to get out of it okay. Out in front, your leader is Danny Smith. Skip Jackson back in the 2nd spot. You can see the boys steaming up those right rear tyres. Watch Danny Smith's left arm in that shot. You can see how busy they are. There's a bit of a groove settling midway through the track. Danny Smith running right through it. Skip Jackson running lower. Watch for their left arm. See how hard they work going into the turns. The diecrest, number 88, Harrower Brothers. Entry of Danny Smith out in front. Skip Jackson in 2nd. Peter Murphy in there. O'Brien Aluminium, number 42, Maxim in 3rd. Brett Lacey in 4th. The driver of the 33 Spies Hecker car at least guaranteeing himself a spot on the 2nd row on the outside if they finish in this particular order. Brooke Tatnell in trouble. Going to the infield in the Shell Helix Schnee. Well, at the very least, he can start from position 6 in the A main. Let's hope there's no further dramas. Checkered flag is out. From Danville in Indiana, Danny Smith will start on pole for round 7 of the World Series Sprint Cars at Mount Gambier. Skip Jackson from 2. Picturesque Mount Gambier on the border of South Australia and Victoria is the venue for round 7 of the $500,000 World Series Sprint Cars travelling circus. Very talented lineup and a great little venue. Former South Australian sprint car great Bill Barrows has a lot to do with this particular circuit. It's very racy, a track that Bill Barrows himself would have loved to stand on the gas around. Skip Jackson and Danny Smith share the front row. Peter Murphy in the O'Brien Aluminium car out of 3. Brett Lacey from 4. Brooke Tatnell, Trevor Green. Well, Mark Reuter has performed very well to qualify that high. As we rumble into turn number 3 and 4, Smith goes a little high. Murphy makes it stick on the bottom, but Danny Smith is a racer. Look at him hold it on the outside. Murph has a good look on the bottom. Danny Smith and he charge into turn number 3. Murphy very aggressive into the turn. Look at Danny Smith back on the brakes. Tries to bring it back down low. He's got to be careful. He's got Lacey in behind. Speaking of Brett Lacey, monstering the left rear of Danny Smith. Well, no room to breathe here. Johnson almost upends the number 36 tyre power car. Andrew Shirley arrives late in the scene. Neris Johnson to the left of your screen gets it all crossed up, smokes the right rear and stands her up on the back wheels. Shirley had nowhere to go. 700 horsepower travelling in the wrong direction can be a problem for anyone, and it was for Andrew Shirley. Skip Jackson back in command. Well, there's something that we've become very accustomed to this year. Peter Murphy sits in second, Danny Smith in third, Brett Lacey in fourth, South Aussie Trevor Green back to Max Dumsney, Brooke Tatnell to Nathan McDonald, and Mark Reuter, second generation South Aussie star. Skip Jackson out in front and in command. So we see Max Dumsney trying for something a little different. Gee, it's a racy little place, isn't it? Also the home of the King's Challenge here at Mount Gambier. Here comes Brooke Tatnell through on the inside of Max Dumsney. And the Valvoline Protec number 5 to the main straight. The Ian Vale prepared J&J. Oh, Trevor Green just about got tagged by Brooke Tatnell. You can see it's quite cool conditions here at Mount Gambier. The guys are steaming up that right rear tyre. It's not smoke, it's just steam, cool air conditions and warm rubber. That's what you get. Tatnell trying to come back at the Adrad, number 4 of Trevor Green. Deep into turn 3 and 4, Tatnell runs. It's not quite quick enough out of the corners. Green seems to be getting a good run out of the turns. David Anderson, the danger man of sprint car racing from Albury, as Dumsney tries to take on Nathan McDonald. Well, Max is fading just a little bit here. The Spees Hecker, number 33 of Brett Lacey, would have run a lot around this circuit in the past. He and his father, Nipper Lacey, being Victorians, so would have just crossed the border to run both Warrnambool and Gambier. Just up ahead is Brooke Tatnell, but the battle behind them is a pearler. Trevor Green gets around the outside. McDonald tried the low side. Gee, Dumsney swooped on him going into 3. McDonald lost momentum. Sprint car racing is a momentum game. And you saw McDonald had to get over onto the left rear, drive down low on the main straight, and that was all that Dumsney needed. Danny Smith still ahead of Lacey and Tatnell. The big guns of sprint car racing, firing at Mount Gambier. And just watch how smooth Skip Jackson is. Just watch his front wheels if you get a chance. He very rarely alters the line. He keeps the car so very straight. Tatnell working the left rear of Brett Lacey. Shell Helix Schnee, car number 8 sitting behind the Spees Hecker, 33 of Brett Lacey. So I tell you what, think about these two second generation racers and the battles that their dads respectively had, Father George and Father Nipper. And now, 10 years on, the legacy is still very strong. Skip Jackson coming up on lap traffic now. Well, this is going to be a little tough. There's not a great deal of room to pass on the tight circuit. Going through them with Queenslander Darren Jensen and South Aussie Chaz Calandro. As Skip starts to come up on some lap cars now. Ooh, Phil March, very ragged at the wrong moment. And Skip Jackson's got his attention span focused directly on the back of the number 3 car and how he's going to get by. And Peter Murphy putting in a blinder for the O'Brien team. Well, Lacey is under some severe pressure from Tatnell here. Brooke hangs the left front over the curb, but still not able to penetrate the defences of Lacey. He's a former national champ. It's an honour that Brooke Tatnell has been close to. In fact, he's been runner-up on 2 occasions, but never been able to nab. And look at Lacey, shrewd as they come, able to stretch that car from the curb up to about a half-track run and allow Tatnell no room to breathe. Well, you can see Brooke trying everything in the book and then some. Lacey's not going to allow him any latitude. Here comes the Fraser Shores. Number 32 car of the Bundaberg Bullet, Nathan McDonald. Brooke trying to work the outside now and cut across the corner and get out low. But just Lacey, one of the most clever drivers in the game. Look at that, he's using up the quick line. And Brooke will be frustrated here. The Shell Helix car cannot find a way through. Well, he's right across the bottom of the circuit. Lacey in the unenviable position of trying to throw a move at Danny Smith and at the same time defend his position from Brooke Tatnell. I don't envy him. Dumsney sitting back, one further spot in the number 5 J&J. Into turn 3 and 4, quite a banked little circuit is Mount Gambier. Beautiful venue and a very racy little track. Lacey once more trying to work over Smith. Here comes Dumsney and McDonald now. Well, what a battle we've got here. A 5-way battle here, and you can throw a bikini strap over all of them. Tatnell once again looks for the inside line on Lacey. He drifts high here. Dumsney is right there. Ever the opportunist. Hangs Tatnell out to dry. Well, this is the danger of racing so close. You get it with sprint car racing quite a bit. Brooke Tatnell went high, trying to get the apex low out of the turn on Lacey, and Dumsney was there to snare the prize money. Out of turn number 4, Dumsney still smarting from leading the World Series round at Adelaide just recently and then drilling the wall in turn 1 with 2 laps remaining. Would dearly love to get up and get a podium finish. Jackson starting to work the lap cars, really hasn't had to get through a great deal of them, and Murphy is right there with him. The skip's got to be careful. Mark Reuter in behind McDonald. The young South Aussie doing a nice job. Tatnall once again trying it on with Dumsney. Only a handful of laps remaining in round 7 of the $500,000 World Series Sprint Cars. And just look at this battle. Danny Smith very clever in the Harrower Brothers car. You can see Peter Murphy in the O'Brien Aluminium, number 42 Maxim. Spent a lot of time in the USA with Steve Kinzer last year, and at the end of this tour, you'll head back stateside to drive with the Morris Williams number 0 Maxim car, running some World of Outlaws and California racing shows. Well, Brooke has got to go for something different. You can see him working the top part of the track, and it seems to be coming on. But Nathan McDonald is right there, so Brooke, he's got to stay with it. Some conviction required here. He goes to the outside on Dumsney. Brilliant racing here. Look at this for the Miners. McDonald is going to get up there and make sure that Brooke's got no way of getting back down. They come out of turn number 4, and if we were watching NASCARs, they'd say that is Brooke Tatnall hung out to dry. But Brooke, you've got to give him credit. He's not going to race in anyone else's tyre tracks. Well, Peter Murphy has been tantalisingly close on a couple of occasions. Each time, Skip is just so fast. There's a checkered flag. Skip Jackson takes the win from Peter Murphy in second. Danny Smith hanging on for third. What a fabulous race. Round 7 of World Series Sprint Cars, surprisingly enough, goes to Skip Jackson.
Skip, congratulations on your race win, like flag to flag. That was a good effort.
Well, thank you very much. I've got a great team of boys around me that do a fantastic job. Fortunately, we didn't have such a good luck at Warrnambool, but fortunately, we were able to come back here tonight, and it worked out pretty good.
The car looked very strong to me in accelerating off the exit of the turn. You seem to have, that's where you look to be winning the race to me, putting the distance back on Peter Murphy. Very strong on the exit.
Yeah, the car's real good through the middle of the corner, which makes it look good coming off the corner. The skilled engineering and Brony Aluminium car done everything right, and we're fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time.
Okay, how's the car pulled up after the engine? I see the guys doing a bit of work on it. You got a bit of damage there or not?
No, just routine maintenance, and just something that we always do. So we just
routine maintenance on the road.
Well, on the road, it wouldn't matter if we're on the road or at home. Just something that we've got to do. And this is the sort of things that these guys, the big effort they put in, day out, and it never stops. No matter what we do, it just keeps going on. So they do a great job.
Point score still looking after itself here. You're doing good.
Well, I'll worry about that in a while.
Okay. Congratulations on your race win on behalf of World Series. Look forward to seeing it in Iora.
Well, World Series do a fantastic job, and I'm glad to be a part of this series, and very fortunate to be able to be doing good in it. So thanks a lot.